Hey guys, DG back. Uh, so some news came out about In the World of Darkness. Not exactly what I was looking for, but in some ways, good news. One new game, Vampire the Masquerade Swansong, was announced. Uh, it looks cool. There's a CGI trailer, kind of showing you the world, what's going on, and what's it's kind of setting up what it's gonna do. There's a party, and it looks like there's gonna be your vampire politicking, which sounds fun. Um, there was a speculation that this NanCon, if they're gonna show something for Vampires Masquerade Bloodlines 2, and they didn't. This trailer was unveiled, and a Werewolf the Apocalypse gameplay trailer. We'll get to that later, but this is the trailer now for Swansong, just to have something so you can see. But it's CGI. It's not really actually showing anything in game, but it is setting up a story. The premise is what it looks like. A party and some stuff's going down. It looks cool. It's the developers. If I can find the name of developers. Apparently, they made this one game called The Council and Big Bad Wolf. So people are saying that it's going to be very similar to the Council, which is an RPG game that a lot of dialogue, a lot of talking and discussion and conversation. That sounds fun, especially in a vampire world. I think that fits. And so yeah, looks cool. We'll see more of that, next year. Uh this game also now, Werewolf the Apocalypse, finally revealed some gameplay. And if I'm being honest, it looks a little dated. Does it still look fun? Yeah. Looks very dated though. I've seen some people say it looks kind of like an MMO at times. I don't know. It has a or like a kind of Devil May Cry character action gameplay is what it looks like to me. It's gonna be lots big rooms, lots of people, and you go nuts, combos and whatnot. They show off the three forms. You have the werewolf, the wolf form, and your human form. Looks like the human form can use weapons. The wolf form is very stealthy, and then werewolf is just all out power, man. It's gonna be real cool. See some actual gameplay. I would say, um, it just being uh it just being this like really edited trailer that kind of shows hints at gameplay. I can't really get a feel of the game to get really excited as much as they, would probably want us to. And I feel like that was kind of general consensus looking around the comments. People they had, the trailer had metal and it was playing some metal and it was looking uh edgy and it was fun for sure. I got excited watching it, so I guess it did its job, but it didn't sell me on the game. It didn't sell me to say, "Yep, I day one buy." This is more like wait for reviews and check it out later. So yeah, it's coming out next year as well. Back to the bulk of it. This is what we got really was an article, talking about Bloodlines 2. There's a podcast as well that they mentioned. Let's see here. Uh, this is a podcast that they also did 3 hours. I've not listened to it yet. Uh, I ain't reacted to it just because I'm just being a little shit. But in all seriousness, I just read this and I'm gonna check out that podcast. It's just 3 hours, a lot, and I didn't really. Part of me is guessing it's not really gonna talk about what I want to hear, so I'm not really that excited to go listen to it. Uh, but this article here is like an interview talking about what their what's going on with development. Like he says, they're confident Hard 2 Labs get the mark. Despite COVID-19 suddenly shifting game development to new socially distanced arrangements, Alley is proud of the team's ability to shift to working from home. Some tasks like motion capture and performance and recording can't be done remotely. A bunch of development has continued to pace at home offices. So that could also show why there's been a delay in a sense of like almost not being able to talk about it because some of the things maybe they need to do, maybe they, motion capture, and as you said, recording some new lines they cannot do right now. It's not possible to do. And so they're, probably polishing up other things that they can polish remotely until they can get back together and do that. That would explain some things. You know, so that was cool to read that. And then the article kind of just goes on talking about other things in the game, saying that they're making the city as much of a character in the game as the other characters in the game. That's cool. Compared to Bloodlines One, Bloodlines One having the hub world, I think even if it wasn't the intention, it became a character in its own because you're repeatedly going through these similar hubs and knowing you getting to know your environment, and because it's smaller, it's denser in a way. So there's more interiors to go to and places to discover. That's cool. And if Bloodlines 2 is looking like it's gonna be a little bigger, it's gonna be a hub world, but it's trying to be a little more bigger than what Bloodlines 1 had, and it's gonna be dense. That's cool. That's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. um, I'm not. My last video seemed like I was just. It was a rant. That's what it was. I was very, uh, just frustrated. It's just they've gone silent, and in some ways, even though they're kind of ramped up the promotion now, but there's so many other uh properties of the World of Darkness being announced that it bothered me that like I feel like Bloodlines 2 in the gaming world, the World of Darkness, the IP's been around a while, but in the gaming world, I feel like it's fresh. And your flagship is the Vampires Masquerade Bloodlines series. So you would think you'd want to put that forward and show Bloodlines 2. Also, because, as I said before, it just at times looks weird. Uh, for example, one of the last things they showed was the damsel reveal. That was one of the things they showed. That was like at the big, one of the big, not E3 things that were happening this summer, and this was like the big reveal. And this, well, I don't think it was a big reveal, but I think they maybe were hoping it was a big reveal or a big pop in some sense. And people were like, "Oh, cool, damsel's back." They did this little walkthrough here. This looks good right here. Like it looks good. You go and they show damsel, and there's been people saying how she looks bad. She doesn't look good and this and that. People say, she had a youthful look to her in the first one, and now she looks old. And vampires don't age, yada yada. But whatever. I'm not a huge damsel fan. I didn't really like her when I played the first game. I thought she was a brat. I thought she was annoying and loud, and I didn't like her. Uh, so I mean, I guess it's cool. She's up in Seattle now from LA. It's gonna be interesting why. Uh, that was like the thing, and then yeah, they showed um the new game, the Swansong, and that's kind of where we've been. So we have Swansong and Werewolf the Apocalypse, Vampires Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Coteries is getting an expansion pack, I believe. So like the World of Darkness is starting to show itself, and to a lot of people, and that's cool. Getting the IP out there because it's a fun IP. It's a cool world. It's a great time. um, it's just dang, y'all. Like I would just kind of show something. Uh, with a YouTuber, uh, Outstar. I I don't pay watch her videos. I think that's who it is. She was really big into vampires and explaining the world. I think to everyone. I think her videos uh jumped up like crazy once Bloodlines 2 got announced, 'cause people were learning about the world. She was explaining the different clans, and she, now works there and whatnot. And that's cool. One of the things that she showed a screenshot, looked like she had the game installed and was playing through the game or going to play the game. So there's a playable build. I want to, I want to see it. Let's see what's changed. I think I'm not gonna say, you owe us that, but because there is this like weird dissociation of people. Like it's divided down a line of like either you just say, yeah, you gotta wait for the game, man. Like games get delayed and they're gonna get better if you just wait. Or there's people like saying, hey, show something, release date, something. Hey, y'all, like I want this game. Um, and then people kind of say, hey, you gotta wait. What do you want them to put out a bad game like the first one? And it's like that's not what we're saying. We're just saying, as I said in my last video, you're peddling your collector's edition. You want pre-orders. Am I supposed to just pay for this game in full with hopes that maybe it comes out? Because that's so far where it's at right now. It might come out. It might get canceled. In all honesty, like it might get canceled. That's a possibility that you can't think won't happen. It can get delayed again indefinitely to where they just remake the whole game. There's so many issues that can arise and happen because um it's just floating in this, you know, in some ways I feel like it's in development hell. It's what it's like, might as well be. There's they want pre-orders, they want you to pay for the game and whatnot, but there is no definite release date that I can look forward to. So I don't know, what's up. So reading through this, they're just talking about, making the world, immersive, having the rich elites and the poor. You're going to be going through these like different financial, you know, depictions that people live in. Your venture are going to be you're rich and powerful in the big buildings, and you're going to go to the low, homeless and whatnot. That's cool. They're talking about that. It's just this is all cool. I mean, I think a developer interview or a developer video again. Just show some stuff, some more stuff, some new stuff. What's because all I got if I was someone I didn't know, so, I've been on a loop and I just all know I was like, oh hey, there's a Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2. What? And I go to search it up and there's a video. I watch the gameplay and it's just like, oh, so I'm saying like for the sake of like, hey, let's get more people hyped about it. Let's show some good, like real good gameplay. But they didn't show anything. They showed some new games of the World of Darkness series, which I'm excited for. Like I said, Swansong looks really cool. Werewolf looks cool. I like werewolves, so and werewolves in games are actually pretty like it's not that many, especially playing as a werewolf. There isn't that many, so it's gonna be fun just to have a game where I can go nuts as a werewolf. Um, and hey, if that game does well, then a sequel could happen, and the sequel could be that much more polished and awesome. So, we gotta support where where you want to support and see more of, but at the same time, we have to reward good work and a good game. I'm not going to go buy that werewolf game just because I want more werewolves game, even though that game is bad, because I'm not going to enjoy playing it. So I want a good game first and foremost. Bias aside of my liking that particular style or whatever it is, it needs to be good. Just like music, I'm not gonna go just because I love a band. If their new album is not good to me, I'm not gonna go buy it. Or a movie, like I'm not gonna go see a movie if I know it's just something I'm not gonna like. I'm not gonna go put myself through that and give the money and be like, yeah, hey, I support that because that's some. In the end of the day, if they're making a lot of money from it, then it's working. That's how it looks. So they say vote with your wallet. that's why I want more. I want this game to succeed. I want to be good. We all do. There's no hate coming from me. I'm not mad at the at Part Two Labs or anything for not talking about it. I'm just an excited fan, and I just want more content to show, and so that we can get the word out like, hey, this game is gonna be awesome. Everyone should be playing it because there is a kind of lost market of like the RPGs where RPGs have evolved now so much, and they're all trying to have voice protagonists. It's going the Mass Effect route in sensors. They think companies think that that's what people want. You don't want to read. You want the voice protagonist. You want three options, and you want an illusion of choice. But that's just not true. We want that. I want that classic RPG. Multiple dialogue options and a possibility that I could screw up a quest, like put that player choice. RPGs have just gotten so, I would say, I guess you can say mainstream or trying to be, that they like have streamlined it so hard that it's basically holding your hands and again gives you the illusion of choice. The illusion that you're doing something good or that you're doing something that you want to do. The games just led you to do that either way. It's and this game looks like it's doing the opposite. This game looks like it's going for that New Vegas kind of, you choose what you want to do, man, and hey, you might screw this up. They have the factions. It's giving me New Vegas vibes in a sense, or just that RPG vibe, that classic actual RPG. Like, hey, here's these factions. You might piss off this faction for helping this faction. You might piss off that faction for helping out those two factions. Who knows what's gonna happen. But that choice, or like, hey, there's a bunch of quests this faction has, but because you did this, they don't like you, and they're not gonna do anything. They're not gonna talk to you, or they're gonna be very hostile towards you. And then you have to play the game again, as another character, and like, yeah, I'm gonna go with that faction. That is cool. That's fun, and it looks like that's what the game's doing. So this is me talking about the World of Darkness, trying to show that, hey, I'm not mad. I don't hate the the World of Darkness series. I'm not mad that Vampires isn't out right away. I'm just excited and want more to show everyone. And let's all just, I'm not pre-ordering it till I see something, a concrete release date or something that gets my eye. Like I'm not pre-ordered Cyberpunk yet. I'm excited for Cyberpunk, but I'm not going to pre-order because look, the release date's moved how many times now? Is it 3 times? So, so I mean, they've set a new release date in November. I'm not even sure. I'm not gonna pre-order till that goes gold. I might not even pre-order it. Tell you the truth, I might just, you know, when I say pre-order, my pre-order is different than uh what people like. I'm not pre-ordering a year out. Like my pre-order is usually like I'll get it like a day before the game comes out. Like to preload it, just to have it, and then I could click play. That's pretty much what I'm talking about, and I feel like that's what we should do. That should be, we shouldn't normalize pre-ordering and giving them money because you've given them the money, especially if you can't get the refund back and you've just thrown away $60 at this company. Well, then they got your money. They got it. That's just what happens, and that's when you start getting. You say it was lazy or low effort because they got your money. The hype and all that you build into hype. They've already made a couple $1,000s just from showing a trailer with no gameplay. So like, hey, I'm excited. They said I believe in the end of this article, uh, still ways to go. Yeah, so there's still ways to go. Whereas it was writing, Hard 2 Labs Paradox haven't set a firm date for Bloodlines 2 quite yet. For this team, Bloodlines 2 has been years in development. For the fans of Cult Classic, it's been years of waiting to see whether something can capture that same magic. It's a heavy weight. R2 Labs is well aware of it, yet determined to meet those expectations. Uh, So, it's just pretty much them talking about, yeah, we know the pressure. The pressure is is on. And so I do not wish them any ill will. I know this is a hard job and it's probably stressful to make a sequel to such a beloved cult classic. It is probably stressful as hell waking up every day like, oh man. And so I try not to be negative some ways, because it doesn't help. But I just want to know, like, hey, what can you show? And say here, right here, it is. There's more on the way after launch too. Quote: I will say the season pass is called Season of the Wolf. You can speculate from there. Ultimately, the team is forging ahead, playing to show even more of Bloodlines 2 this year. So, let's see. It's July. You still got a couple months. They can still show it, and some people some rumors are aiming it, saying it's gonna be around October. I don't know. I just want to see some more. So if they're planning to show more, then hey, I'm a happy camper. I'll sit here and shut up. I'm still gonna make some videos talking about Bloodlines because I just love this world, and so that's why I'm just excited as I am. But yeah, so that's the update. We got a bunch of World of Darkness games coming out, like not a bunch, but a couple coming out for next year. World Darkness IP seems like it's expanding every day. I feel like there's another game that's going to come out and be announced. And I love it. Let's have more. Let's bring this whole world into the mainstream. Let's break the masquerade. Just have everyone know about the World of Darkness. It's there and it's out there, and let's have fun. So yeah, see you guys.